And guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for the next episode in my retro Royal Rumble recap and review series. As I'm just sitting in my living room right now because I'm home alone and I didn't feel like going upstairs. So I'm going to review this from my living room couch unless if something happens, somebody walks in, then I'll have to start it over. But hopefully that's not going to happen. But we're going to talk about the 2005 Royal Rumble match. It's one of the earliest Royal Rumble matches I remember. That is one of the earliest Royal Rumble matches I remember going back and watching on the network before I did this series. And watching it again for a second time or third time, every time I've seen this match, I love it. It's a really fun Royal Rumble match. It did set the stage for, kind of like more into our era, or into the Ruthless Aggression era, definitely. But, a lot of like the stars like we have today who are, a little like out of their prime, getting closer to the end of their careers, but a lot of guys that I'm sure like people my age grew up with watching as teenagers and whatnot. This was around a time where some of my friends also I know got more into the WWE as well. So it's a fun Royal Rumble match. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. The ending too is just hysterical with what happened to Vince McMahon, but it's set up also for a really good match at WrestleMania 21. I raved about this match. The first time I saw this match, my goodness, I didn't even need to like look back and watch the storytelling. Just how great the match was, and just the finish of that match, unreal. If you haven't seen it, watch it. But I will mention it later in this review. So let's get into it, talking about the 2005 Royal Rumble match. This took place on January 30th, 2005, at the Save Mart Center in Fresno, California. And as always, the winner gets a title match at WrestleMania. And because we'll have a Chris Benoit in 2004 choosing to, he was on SmackDown choosing to wrestle the Raw for the Raw Championship. You can choose whichever championship you want. So that was added in there as well. So our number one and two were a pretty great pairing to start off with. Gave me chills just seeing these two start off this Rumble together. Number one was Eddie Guerrero. Number two is Chris Benoit. Really good friends, just having fun with each other. Eddie was from SmackDown. Chris was now on Raw. Again, this will actually also be Eddie's last Royal Rumble match as he would pass away later this year in November from heart conditions. Unfortunately, and we all know we are talking about the Chris Benoit tragedy in the last phase, so I'll get into that again. To start off, number three was the Tough Enough winner of Daniel Puder, who apparently he beat out the Miz in this year's Tough Enough competition. He was on SmackDown. He came out and cut this pro about how he's going to be the first Tough Enough champion to win the Royal Rumble match. And it was all downhill for there, as just Eddie and Chris just looked at him like, you're just a rookie. You're nothing. And they just beat him down constantly. Hardcore Holly from SmackDown came in number four, and he's a heel, but he hates rookies, so he said, "Can I have my shot at him?" So he beats down on Puder as well until like right before the number five entrant came in, which was the Hurricane. They finally eliminated Puder. Well, Holly did, and then Edge and Benoit teamed up to eliminate Hardcore Holly. And then the Hurricane came in, but he didn't last that long either. He was eliminated by Eddie, so it's just Benoit and Eddie here and there. Eddie or Benoit trying to get one up on each other because it's every man for himself. It just made that that friendship feel important in this Rumble as well. Number six was Kenzo Suzuki. Apparently he was really bland. Number seven was Edge. Edge was now a heel, and this is the year where Edge starts to slowly become more rated R into the superstar. He does become the world champion caliber wrestler he became in 2006. He won the Money in the Bank ladder match this year also. So this is Edge on the verge of his breakout year. Another superstar was on the verge of his breakout year, came out number 8, which also I forgot to mention. Suzuki's from SmackDown, Edge is on Raw. Our number 8 entrant from SmackDown is Rey Mysterio, who also had a very good show this Royal Rumble match as well. He was just probably doing some of the best stuff in his career at this point. He would go on later to have the feud with Eddie this year, which would slowly turn Eddie heel also. At first it was face on face, but it slowly made Eddie into a heel. Mysterio would eliminate Kenzo Suzuki. Number 9 was the Intercontinental Champion from Raw, Shelton Benjamin. He came out at number 9. From SmackDown, number 10, we have Booker T. And then Taz did a big botch here. He mentions that Booker T main evented at WrestleMania 18 no, sorry, 19, 2003 against Triple H. No, he didn't. He was in one of like the matches in the middle of the card. You can't. As CM Punk says, you can't like, try to buy. People say the pay per view has 4 main events. There's one main event, and he deserved it, and it goes at last. But Punk was in this role. We're not going to talk about him right now. But yeah, Eric Bischoff came. Now, here's the thing also I like about this Rumble, too. As I mentioned when I did my first year of the brand split video a couple months ago with my good friend Ron Kenobi, I mentioned how I wanted to see some more competition between the brands. This Rumble in general, they were really pushing the competition between Raw and SmackDown. And it was different. I enjoyed it. And I was happy that they were doing that. Eric Bischoff came down to cheer on for Raw, which is particularly cheering on for Edge. Chris Jericho from Raw came out at number 11. Teddy Long came out to cheer on for SmackDown. Number 12 was Luther Reigns, who was on SmackDown. I don't think he's related to Roman. And then this is a moment also where SmackDown and Raw, divide and just, went to war with each other for a little bit. Before number 13 from Raw, Muhammad Hassan came out. I don't even want to talk about, the whole gimmick with Muhammad Hassan came out to, of course, he got booed by everybody, and then he came to the ring, did his thing, and everybody just teamed up on him, and he got thrown out by everyone. So that's what happened there. From the numbers 14 to 17 were from SmackDown. Number 14 was Orlando Jordan, followed by Sky Tuhati, number 15, but he didn't even make it to the ring as Muhammad Hassan came back out and attacked him from behind, so he never got into the ring. 16 was Charlie Haas. Booker T would then eliminate Jordan and Reigns, and he would do his little spinneroni, which at this point I've learned when Booker T does a spinneroni, he's leaving the Royal Rumble match in any second. He would be double teamed, then eliminated by Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. Number 17 was Rene Dupré coming out with the French flag. This time, though, Shelton Benjamin was eliminated by Edge. Number 18 was from Raw, Simon Dean. Edge would then eliminate Eddie Guerrero, give him some more heat as well. Again, too bad Eddie didn't win a Royal Rumble match because, again, of what happened to him later this year. Number 19 was the showstopper, Shawn Michaels. He was on Raw. He came out and he eliminated, he eliminated Simon Dean and Charlie Haas. Now here's an interesting one. Number 20 was Kurt Angle. He wrestled a triple threat match earlier this show against Big Show and JBL for the SmackDown World Title. He wasn't supposed to be in this match, but he took Nunzio's, or whatever his name is, number, and replaced him instead in the match. So he was looking to try to get his WrestleMania moment. He goes in there, he starts eliminate everybody, he starts taking people out, taking people out though in the ring. But then Shawn Michaels come behind him and super kick him to eliminate him. But that wasn't the last we see of Kurt Angle, of course. So the Raw superstar took on the SmackDown superstar. Number 21 from Raw was Jonathan Coachman. He was in there for like almost 15 minutes, but he literally did nothing but just hug the ropes and hid in the corner for who eliminated him. We'll get to him shortly. Number 22 was Mark Jindrak from SmackDown. But when he was coming to the ring, Kurt Angle came back out and he attacked Shawn Michaels, eliminating him. He busted him open. He did the angle lock on him on the steel steps. This was set for that match I talked about earlier. The match at WrestleMania 21. I mean, WrestleMania 21 is known for a lot of breakout moments for a lot of superstars. But my goodness, this match, HBK and Kurt Angle, WrestleMania 21. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. It's an unbelievable match, and this Angle, no pun intended, set up for that match brilliantly. And again, you will love this match. You don't even have to really just even know the story of what's going on. I mean, you look back and see what's going on, but just watch this match. You will appreciate it. You will love it. Was a great way to set up that angle, though. So that was that. Number 23 for Raw is Viscera. I thought he would have been gone by now. He on number 23. Number 24 was Paul London from SmackDown. And then Rene Dupré was doing the French tickler dance before Chris Jericho threw him out from behind and imitated him and did the French tickler dance as well. Number 25 was from SmackDown, John Cena. Now, John Cena had selected the Dr. Thugonomics song, but I believe by WrestleMania he did have the Time Is Now song to him as well. He came in though and he started charging at people, taking them out. Then he eliminated Viscera for his first elimination. Um, yeah, that's first of 3 eliminations for John Cena. Number 26 was from actually the rest of the superstars, 26 and 30, were all from Raw. The rest was Rumble. 26 was a Gene Snitsky. He would eliminate Paul London with a nasty bump. London had to be taken out on a stretcher. Number 27 was Kane, who would eliminate Mark Jindrak. Number 28 was Batista, who was a lot more better this year than he was the past couple years. A little more greener, but the story of him becoming one more top baby faces involving Triple H trying to get him to go to SmackDown if he wins the Royal Rumble, the challenge for the SmackDown title, but that will lead to well, I don't want to give away the ending here, so let's keep going. But the story was like very well to get Batista, on the map as one of the top baby faces of the company. He would come in and eliminate Snitsky and Jericho. Number 29 was Christian, and Cena would eliminate Kane with a nice attitude adjustment. Well, at the time it was called the FU, but that's happened there. Number 30 was Woo! The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, who's been around for a couple years. I think this is his first Rumble match since 93, I believe. He would eliminate Jonathan Coachman, who had been hanging on to the ropes for how long? Batista would then eliminate Christian. Ric Flair would then eliminate Chris Benoit, who was in there for the longest again this year, 47 minutes and 46 seconds, carried most of the match, an excellent job. And then Flair goes to nearly eliminate Batista, which again plays into the story about, Batista, having some cracks from Evolution. So, like, Flair goes to eliminate him, but Batista's like, how dare you do that? And Flair is like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. Just for himself. So, off distraction, though, Edge would then eliminate Flair. So, the final 4 was Edge, Mysterio, Cena, and Batista. Rey Mysterio had a couple, near eliminations, but whenever Rey Mysterio hung on, it looked like he was really hanging on. He got whipped around like no tomorrow. Even like his Hurricanranas, were so effective as well. Unfortunately, though, he got caught on the ropes, and Edge speared him to eliminate him from the match. And then Cena and Batista would team up to eliminate Edge with a double backdrop. And here's where the most interesting part of this match comes from. People remember this match most for Cena and Batista go out for a little bit. I may have heard rumor before that this was a botch. This was a mistake. But Cena and Batista literally eliminate each other and both land on the floor at the same exact time. You can watch it in slow-mo if you want, but it's what happened. They literally eliminated each other at the same time. So were they going to do what they did with Lex Luger and Bret Hart back in 1994? And the funniest part of all, here comes the chair, Vince McMahon himself. Oh man, I gotta say this Rumble match. And he comes into the ring and tears both of his quads. And he sits in the ring with his legs like straight up. He's going to do the stretch where you just stretch, try to touch your toes or what. He just sits there just barking out orders. Something's wrong with him at this point. Just cracks it up. But yet he decides just to restart the match, have Batista and Cena get back in and start the match, even though they literally just started eliminating each other one by one on one, while they're trying to figure out what's going on with this decision. But they restarted the match. But they had a good couple, 2 more minutes, or whatever the heck they had in there. But then Batista would overpower Cena and eliminate him, and Batista was going to WrestleMania. Now, again, as I said before, this was leading to a time where it was the cracks was in there, and Batista was starting to realize Triple H was just using his Evolution members just to get where he wants to get to. So Triple H felt it was best for Batista to go to SmackDown and challenge for the SmackDown World Title, but then instead he turned on Triple H, realizing what he's been doing this whole time, and he stayed on Raw and challenged him for a championship, and he may have been WrestleMania 21. But Cena would still go on to face, who was a United States champion also in this match I mentioned, but he would go on to face JBL at WrestleMania 21 in a match that was all right, but I expected better. But this was again the year that both John Cena and Batista became 2 of the biggest stars in the company as well. Of course, Cena would go on to get a lot more further than Batista did, but Batista still was an excellent babyface that gets underappreciated, I feel, these days by a lot of people, unfortunately. And there's rumors he might want to come back also to have one last run. I'd be interested in seeing if they do it. I know I gave him a lot of crap when he came back in 2014, but I wasn't as familiar with him as I am now. But again, Batista did a lot of great things, and this Royal Rumble victory was just the beginning for him to do all those great things as one of the top baby faces in the company. So, yep, that was Batista wins the match. Just going over the numbers here really quickly here. We have Eddie Guerrero entering at number 1 from SmackDown, 28-11, 3 eliminations. From Raw, Chris Benoit, 47-26, 3 eliminations. Daniel Puder, 409, no eliminations. Hardcore Holly, SmackDown, one elimination. The Hurricane, minute 4, no eliminations from Raw. Kenzo Suzuki from SmackDown, 331, no eliminations. Edge, Edge from Raw, 4019, 5 eliminations. Mysterio from SmackDown, 3825, 2 eliminations. Shelton Benjamin, 1435, 1 elimination. He was on Raw. Booker T from SmackDown, 1042, 3 eliminations. Chris Jericho, Raw, 2822, 2 eliminations. Luther Reigns, 713, 1 elimination. He was on SmackDown. Muhammad Hassan from Raw, 54 seconds. He technically had 1 elimination though, since Sky Dahadi never got into the ring. From SmackDown, 14-17. Orlando Jordan, 336, no eliminations. Sky Dahadi didn't get into the ring. Charlie Haas, 620, no eliminations. And Rene Dupree, 1132, no eliminations. From Raw, we have Simon Dean at 20 seconds, no eliminations. And Shawn Michaels at number 19, also from Raw, 456, 3 eliminations. From SmackDown, Kurt Angle, number 20, 37 seconds, 1 elimination. That's when he came back in and attacked HBK, sent for their amazing WrestleMania match. Jonathan Coachman from Raw, number 21, 1346, just hugging on the ropes. He had no eliminations. Mark Jindrak at 8:15, no eliminations. He's from SmackDown. From Raw, we have Viscera, 3 minutes, no eliminations. From SmackDown, Paul London, 3:15, no eliminations. 25 from SmackDown was John Cena, 15:28, 3 eliminations. The rest of the way was all Raw. Gene Snitsky, 3:38, 1 elimination. Kane, 3:54, 1 elimination. Batista, 10:54, 5 eliminations. Christian, 2:09, no eliminations. And Ric Flair, a minute 58, 2 eliminations. The total time, the longest time in this match was Chris Benoit with 47:46. The most eliminations was by Edge and Batista with 5 apiece. The total duration of this match was only 51:27, but it was still a very great, effective, and fun match. The finish was awesome, again, except for the Angle and Michaels match at WrestleMania. We had a couple other starts like Edge, Mysterio. We had good showing from Eddie, and a good showing from Chris Benoit. I enjoyed this Rumble. I'm giving it an A-, one of my favorites, maybe probably in the top 5, I'd say. One of my favorite Royal Rumble matches of all time. So what grade would you give this Royal Rumble match? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure to click that like and subscribe on this channel, and follow me on Twitter at DwayneAir93. Stay tuned. I'm going to try to get 2006 and 2007 Rumbles done at least today also. And yeah, so until then, guys, I am checking out. Have a good day.